Star's Reach is unlike the vast majority of traditional MMOs you've likely experienced. In fact, unless you've previously played Star Wars Galaxies, you probably don't know what to expect. And even if you have, it's unlikely you've ever buried yourself alive in a mining tunnel, or mistakenly lit an entire forest on fire. I recently guided a friend of mine through her very first experience with the game, and now I'm going to do the same for you as we explore the core mechanics of what makes this game so different. As a reminder, Star's Reach is currently running as a pre-alpha playtest, so not every system is fully operational or completely polished. We'll be showing off what we can and supplementing the details from the development roadmap where necessary. Now let's get into it. Right away, we're greeted with a brief excerpt of lore setting the tone of the universe. A recent developer stream showed off a brand new comic book inspired intro animatic that will replace this, but the details remain the same. In summary, the various races of humanity have ruined their worlds through a multitude of horrifying means, with some few being saved by robots referred to as the servitors. They escorted the survivors across the galaxy to a region of space filled with terraformed planets. This is the garden of an ancient alien race now known as the Old Ones. The servitors have been left in place to tend this garden. Character creation options are currently limited in this build, but the full creator will be arriving via updates sometime in the next month, and you can bet we'll be taking a much more detailed look at that when it lands, so stay tuned. As for now, it's mostly setting your name and selecting your race. There are currently 4 to choose from: the Terran, how you'd expect a standard human to look; the Squatchy, a race of bulky, Bigfoot-esque people; the Gurtan, a demon-looking race with horns on their heads; and the Eliani, cat people, and my personal favorite. Along with the release of the full character creator, we're also expecting the other 4 races to drop within the same update. This will add the Hansian, who are fish people; the Hugon, aliens with antennae; the Stokati, gothic space vampires; and the Fae. They're fairies, possibly my friend's favorite. Next, we get onto the stat allocation triangle. This is going to look relatable to any veterans of Star Wars Galaxies, though for everyone else it might appear a little confusing at first. Luckily, it's pretty straightforward to explain. There are 3 core stats: your health, your stamina, and your focus. If you run out of health, you die. Stamina is used for running, dodging, climbing, among other things, and focus is similar to mana, used for activating various abilities. Then each of those stats are broken into 3 substats. Health, stamina, and focus determine your maximum available in each pool. Constitution, fitness, and serenity set the speed at which you recover back to your maximum. And toughness, strength, and concentration reduces incoming damage or the cost to take various actions. If you're not sure what you'll need, then there are a variety of presets to choose from, and there will also be ways to reallocate these stats in the future. Once we've gotten all that decided, we're off to explore the galaxy. The first place we land is the planet Haven. As it stands right now, this is just a basic tutorial world that can't be revisited once completed. That will be changing further down the road, as Haven will eventually become a central hub for new players, providing all the basic necessities until you find a new world to make your home. Which is one of the core dynamics of this game. The open world, or worlds, aren't just for exploration and adventure, they're available for players and their guilds to colonize. Players build their houses, mining operations, and entire towns alongside each other. When a group gets together and establishes themselves on a planet, they claim it as their own, and can even establish their own government, setting the rules for their world. This is done through the GovBot. So how many planets are going to be up for grabs when the game launches? As many as needed. Traveling through space from system to system is done through a series of wormholes, and these gateways can open and close over time. If more worlds are needed, the server can spin up new ones while opening new wormholes. Similarly, old worlds that have been picked clean of resources and left uninhabited can have their wormholes sealed. The galaxy will always be changing. And with all that space, it leaves us with a very important question. What do we do here? And honestly, it's whatever you want. This isn't a typical theme park MMO with quest lines leading from hub to hub, and there are no character classes that you're locked into. This is a sandbox with a wide open skill tree. I mean, just look at this thing. It's a bit unruly. So let's start by zooming in on the combat tree. Every box is a skill you can learn, and while there is a limit to how many skills you can have active at once, you can mix and match any combination you want. And skills you've learned can be deactivated if you want to try something else. A lot of these are a work in progress, but you can see the blueprint here for everything that's coming. The same applies to crafting skills, medical skills, mining skills. There are even some skills on here that you might not even be expecting, like the humanities tree, with acting, dance, music, writing, and journalism. Star Wars Galaxies vets will recognize the dancing and music, as those professions played a critical role in relieving battle fatigue and long-term stat wounds. Something similar is going on here, and healing wounds in Star's Reach currently involves being around other players who are using the dance emote. As for journalism, for those curious, it'll grant access to posting articles on the in-game newsnet, and tools such as a drone camera. There's even a politics profession for players who want to run cities and govern planets. We'll be covering a lot more on those when they release. Sticking with combat for a bit longer though, it's worth pointing out that since everything is based on your character's skills, there are no levels. The developers have talked about thinking of things behind the scene in terms of levels, but there isn't an experience bar increasing a character's overall level. Instead, players are thought of as somewhere between level 10 and 20, depending on gear and active combat skills. While creatures, on the other hand, can range as high as 100 plus. There's no soloing a dragon, so to speak. Instead, players will have to group up and take on some of the more dangerous challenges together. Right now, that takes the form of world bosses and chaotic events triggering periodically across the various planets. And once combat starts, it moves quick. It's third-person action-based, so you'll be running, jumping, dodging, using a grappling hook, and boosting through the air via Grav mesh, which is functionally a jetpack. And instead of having an entire hotbar or grand piano's worth of abilities, you'll have 4 weapon and tool slots, each with a selection of abilities you can bind to them based on your skills and weapon type. Looting is a bit different here as well. Instead of finding brand new gear, a lot of what you find are resources, components, even crafting recipes. All of this feeds into an entirely player-driven economy. With the exception of a few basic tools that the game might give you at the start, everything else is crafted by a player. And as you use your equipment, its durability will decrease. You can repair it via a repair kit also made by players, but each repair comes with a chance of degrading the item's maximum durability. Eventually, you'll have to replace your gear. That's where the crafting professions come in. With the resources and components players collect as loot, as well as those mined via mineralogy or grown and foraged through botany, they make all the weapons, armor, food for buffs, medical supplies, and tools. Furthermore, resources have stats, and the same type of resource will have different stats depending on what planet it came from. These stats, combined with the skills of the crafter, help determine the overall quality of the crafted product. So there's a great deal of variation, even in items of the same type. This game has a lot going on, and we've barely scratched the surface. So for those of you interested in joining the playtest, to experience it for yourself, you can still sign up over on the Stars Reach website. Just make sure you like and subscribe before heading over, to keep up with all the latest news and info on the game. And let me know what sounded the most exciting to you down in the comments. Till next time.